The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Kyle Bowen. You're listening to the Postcast here on Locked On Canucks. The Postcast brought to you by Gametime. Go download the Gametime app and get $20 off of your first purchase by using code Locked On NHL. And man, oh man, we talked about buying Canucks tickets when they get back at home. And Kyle, I'm feeling a little more tempted now after tonight. And man, oh man, did it not look like it was going to go well in the first, 10, 15 minutes of this game? The Canucks completely outclassed, completely outplayed. But what have we talked about time and time again? You got Thatcher Demko in net. Anything is possible. And the Canucks found their feet, and a lot of positives to take away from this one tonight, Kyle. Let's go, baby.
Hey, Trevor, man, when's your birthday, man? What do you want for your birthday, man? Whatever you want, man. What do you want for your birthday, man? Let me know.
Stanley Cup, man. I want a Stanley Cup for my birthday.
I think Elias Pettersson can do that for us, man. Anyways, the comments. Zach saying, this is what we like to see. Trevor, come on. That's what we've been asking for. And the fact that it happened against Dallas, now specifically talking about Elias Pettersson again, because that he's the alien in the room. He's what matters here. But that's what we want to see, especially after he scores against Demko in the first period, right? Loses the faceoff, boom, bam, next thing you know, he gets his first of the season against Demko, scores in his own net. And the camera pans to Elias Pettersson, and it looks sad. I feel sad. That was the first time, Trevor, I'm not going to lie, where I forgave Elias Pettersson. I tweeted about it. I said, and I, even in the Discord, I was mad. I was sad. I joined the Discord. All in all, though, I forgave Elias Pettersson after he scored in his own net because I started to feel bad for him. Like, the empathy was real. Like, there's no more anger. I'm like, this is something else. This is ESPN 30 for 30. This guy's going down a dark path, and he can't get it together. These yips are going to last forever. But boom, bam, what does he do? He's our best player against the Dallas Stars for the next 40 minutes. He could have had 4 points, only ends up with 1. But block after block after block after block, the guy was doing it all, and he took it personal. And I don't know, something told me that goal against Demko was the last straw for him. Because isn't he timid? Isn't he like head down? Like, doesn't he not have the confidence? Yet he bounced back from that against the Dallas Stars on the road. That was a big performance.
It was a big performance. And, a couple of big differences tonight for Elias Pettersson. And I think step number one was pairing him with Connor Garland. Kyle, we talked about it, man. Every dayers know. If you've been listening this week, that's a duo that we liked, okay? Elias Pettersson, Connor Garland, it's worked in the past. They just haven't been rewarded for it. And honestly, Kyle, you kind of mentioned it. They should have been rewarded more for it tonight. Connor Garland could have had 3 to 4 goals in this game. Elias Pettersson could have multiple assists in this game. But I think that was step number one for Pettersson. And I like the narrative that you're spinning here about the turning point, right? Elias Pettersson tips the puck in his own net. But after that, it was a really solid performance from EP40, okay? Just a nice little, the little passes between the legs, man, like tricking defenders, getting it on the forecheck, and the blocks, man, 3 blocks on the night. And Kyle, you want to know one of the biggest differences for Elias Pettersson tonight? He played more than 15 minutes, man. He played 20 minutes tonight. That's what Elias Pettersson should be doing for your Vancouver Canucks, and Foot gave him the opportunity tonight, and he made the most of it.
Oh, he did. And go ahead and give credit to Adam Foote for not benching him or not playing him 15 minutes a game. Again, horrible start. Just coming off of bad game after bad game, and he scores it against his own net. There's another chance for a coach to send the message, but he doesn't. He does in a different way, though. And that's just playing his dog. And Elias Pettersson stepped up to the plate. Kudos to Connor Garland, looking like the best player on the team. Why? Because he's actually really talented and really good and really accountable and wants to be a leader for the Canucks. That's what, I would say that's 10 good periods, 10 really good periods from Connor Garland so far. So kudos to you for helping Elias out. But man, oh man, Elias Pettersson helped himself out today. Trevor, imagine this being against the Nashville Predators, who, they're playing decent, or the Chicago Black. What if this game happens tomorrow? A competitor like Pettersson and fans like us and assholes like us, that's not good enough. Even if he plays good against Chicago, right? We're it was Chicago. But this happened against Dallas, Trevor, and even for the whole team. But again, if you want to hone in on Elias, do it, because He's Elias. He's the alien here. As a fan, how could you not gain? I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but how could that not be it? Like, I just got re-excited for the whole season because after he scored against his own net, I forgave him. And I was ready to just sign off on the season, hang out with my girlfriend every day. I was like, you know what? It's not, no, straight up, because I thought it was Operation Impossible. Because again, we're playing the Dallas Stars. We're getting dominated. Elias scores in his own net, but there was Elias doing his best, reminding himself against a premier team that he could be really good.
Yeah, 100%, man. And there were a lot of goods tonight, man, but we do got to give Pettersson his flowers because we've been waiting. Again, not necessarily like having the puck on a stick, deking through everybody, but just making solid plays the entire night through after a pretty bad break at the beginning of the game. So Pettersson and Garland, they were cooking tonight. Kyle, the one line I wanted to shout out, the Abbotsford Canuck boys, man, the AHL beauties, the three brothers, man. These guys look like twins, just like you and me. Archie Baines, Linus Karlsson, Max Sasson. That line was cooking tonight, and of course, didn't get a ton of ice time, right? Compared to the rest of the team, Karlsson and Baines are actually only at like 7-ish minutes, like a little under 8 minutes tonight. Sasson around 9-ish minutes, but they made the most of their minutes, right? I know Sasson gets rewarded with the goal, but every time they were on the ice, they were forechecking hard, man. We keep talking about the foreskin. I mean, the forecheck, okay? And they were forechecking hard tonight. You could see the chemistry between them, and a couple nice puck retrievals by Baines and Max Sasson, man. Holy, he was buzzing tonight. The speed is evident. Multiple chances, man. He had about 3 chances in tight. Of course, he converts on the one, the break down the wing with Tyler Myers giving him the stretch pass. That line tonight, I mean, it's always a bit of a risk when you put 3 guys with not much NHL experience on the same line together. And again, they didn't play tonight, but they played against a damn good Stars team. And man, oh man, I was really impressed with their work tonight.
Yeah, especially in the first period. Like they actually.
Yeah, you could argue they changed momentum. They had that shift in the first period when the Canucks were getting spanked with the naked ass, man. And they had that shift in the first period, grinding, getting a couple pucks out front. And that kind of changed the tide of the game, to be honest, Kyle.
Yeah, and it did. Again, they played strong, I would say 90% of the time tonight, based on my eye test. Like, they were really, really good. But to draw it back to Pettersson, kudos to Adam Foote. I was trying to find Pete DeBoer's number in the Yellow Books earlier today. Okay, a couple hours ago. Check it out, previous episode. But kudos to Adam Foote for just doubling down and still playing Pettersson, because for the last couple of games, he's playing everyone 15 minutes a game. And there you have a fourth line, the number 1 line in the AHL, but, a fourth line right now playing really well. And instead of giving them more minutes, he gives Connor Garland and Elias Pettersson more minutes. And they were playing with like Drew O'Connor and Evander Kane. It was like, one or the other every now and then. But just kudos for Adam Foote for doing that. Again, playing Pettersson more. But also, bring it back to the AHL line, Trevor. Kudos for him. Again, good night for Adam Foote for taking Baines off of Sherwood's line and just, rolling with the chemistry, because that has something to do with it. The fact that they were really good for like 9 to 10 minutes, including, Max Sasson scoring a goal. Like, I think it was easier for them to be good because they got chemistry, and it's just so apparent. That's undeniable. They got, whether it be in the AHL or the NHL, playing other teams' bottom sixes, like these guys have an innate amount of chemistry. Like, they're pretty instinctual together, and that's an advantage if they're playing the right amount of minutes.
Yeah, 100%, man. And look, I'm curious what to see if anything else changes if they get more ice time, right? Because that was another big change from tonight, Kyle, is Adam Foote, through the first 3 games is really just rolling lines 1 through 4, right? Cutting back minutes on Coots and Lecker-Mack a bit, but more or less rolling lines 1 through 4, right? Like, you have like Pettersson and Hedl playing like 15 to 17 minutes. The rest of the guys playing 12, 13. Tonight was a bit different, Kyle. Like, you look at the ice time among forwards tonight, and you kind of have your top 7 guys, let's call it the top 6 guys, right? Sure, it's not that close, but all the top 6 forwards playing between 21 at the high for Besser and 17-41 at the low for Evander Kane among your top 6 forwards. So they all got a lot of ice time tonight. So bit of a different strategy for Adam Foote, but tonight it paid off. And again, who knows if the Abbotsford line, I think they've earned more ice time after tonight, but on a night where you get your asses kicked in the beginning and you're like, I'm going to give this game to my best players and see if they can make the most of it. And Kyle, they absolutely made the most of it tonight.
Yep. And Trevor, not to bring his name up for the 8th time of the show, but Elias Pettersson, man. No, again, why are you laughing, bro? Hey, Elias Pettersson, man. Elias Pettersson, man. Let's get to the comments. Nancy saying this just proves any team can win or lose any given night, especially, when you have Elias Pettersson playing for you, for real. No matter what's happening, okay? When Pettersson's playing like that, he instills confidence in everyone. And I think everyone was able to continue their pace of play, including the fourth line when they were getting less minutes in the second and third period, if my eye test is correct. Like, the fact that they were still able to, like, play fast, play with speed, again, we have to give credit where credit was due. It's easier to do so when the best forward on your team is actually, because they got front row seats to it. I think they knew Elias was in the zone in the second period. And again, maybe if, like, there's 3 or 4 assists on the board, like, everyone's talking about it, like, it's a for sure thing. And maybe I'm being a bit premature, but come on, it's Kyle Bound. We were all made in 7 seconds, okay? A lot of miracles can happen in 7 seconds or in a short sample size. Like, I just think it was so important for that forward group to see the truth. And when they see that in game, they can relax a bit more. Like, oh, Elias got us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And everyone just felt swaggy. And correct me if I'm wrong, Trevor. You know what? Trevor? We're doing the wrong thing here. Because I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. It didn't seem like they had a lot of momentum and they just found it out of nowhere. No, they found it out of East Van. There was one comment here talking about the aerial pass that Evander Kane made at the end of it came from, the comment comes from Aaron Phillip, okay? Shout out to Surrey, Mayor Surrey. One love to Aaron Phillip. They should name a street after this guy, okay?
Yeah.
Evander Kane out of nowhere again. We killed the penalty. Demko, correct me if I'm wrong. Demko's just looking solid for 22 minutes. We survive. And out of nowhere, Evander Kane, it turns into, Brett Favre, just chucks it down the field. It could have got intercepted. Whatever. It's a deep ball. It's fourth down. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But it bounces over Harley's stick, and Hedl does the rest. And that, to be honest, more so than Pettersson coming back to form, that actually happened first. Like, that play happened first, and it sparked up everyone. And it was a cool play. And like, what did you like more, the pass or the finish? Because no offense to East Van, I like the finish more.
Yeah, no, that play doesn't happen without the pass, though, right? And that pass couldn't have been more perfect. And, you have to credit Hedl for finding it, right? The puck kind of lands by him and the Stars defender that was there at the time. Hedl ends up finding it, ends up having the speed to get away from the Stars defender and get into the zone. So, I mean, that play doesn't happen without Evander Kane, but man, oh man, that play also doesn't really happen without Filip Hedl. Let's be real. Look, that was a great play. And look, man, we talked about it, man. The NHL's breakout player. You had a couple bad turnovers, but overall, it's been, a noteworthy 4 games, right? Like, for the most part, he's shown something every game. He's got 3 goals in 4 games. The NHL's breakout player. I also picked him up in fantasy, by the way, because I got Brady Tkachuk into it now. Boom, bam. So Filip Hedl helping me out tonight, man. But he's looking good out there, man. And Evander Kane, hate to say it, man, but he's earning more ice time, and he kind of bums Drew O'Connor down the lineup tonight with that play and just a good performance overall. So Evander Kane also playing his way into the top 6 too right now.
Yeah, and just don't play Drew O'Connor with the top guys anymore. That's got to stop. And I know he was close to scoring, but I don't know. Just it's not optimal. Now maybe I'll just say maybe it's okay if they keep rotating him and Kane just to like rest Kane up a lot more, but that seems a little risky. That being said, and we'll talk about this on the other side more so, maybe like the Canucks can take their time finding the third guy on Pettersson's line, because it's quite apparent that Garland and Pettersson may have some like real chemistry here. So they could do a lot of the carrying.
Yeah, absolutely can, man. And they were impressive tonight. A lot of Canucks were impressive. Let's go through the lineup on the other side. Kyle, report cards in 5-ish minutes. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Kyle Bound. We'll be back on the other side here on Locked On Canucks. All right, before we get back to it, let's shout out our friends over at FanDuel. And Kyle, we said it, a few hours ago when we were recording, right? The Vancouver Canucks were plus 140 on the money line. I like this Vancouver Canucks team against the Dallas Stars. Thatcher Demko, 8-1-1 in his career facing Dallas, now 9-1-1. A huge reason why they won tonight. The Canucks get the job done as underdogs. Filip Hedl was plus 350 to score a goal. He opens up the scoring for your Vancouver Canucks. And another nice bet there. Whatever bets you're doing, go check it out on FanDuel, okay? Because new customers right now, you can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets. Let's go, baby. All right, FanDuel, the app's so easy to use. Even I can use it, man. And I don't even know how to use technology, dude. So go check out FanDuel. Go download the FanDuel app by checking out FanDuel.com. And again, new customers bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets. Check it all out on FanDuel.com.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Trevor Beggs, Kyle Bowen, and Trevor Beggs, aka the second best dad in the world. And there's a reason why he's the second best dad in the world tonight. He put the kids down early tonight just to get on the post game show. They didn't get the extra bedtime story, Trevor, because you had to talk about the Canucks beating the Dallas Stars, and that's why everyone should hit the like button. And that's why Trevor Beggs is a star, for real. Trevor, you're a superstar, man. You care about this damn team, and again, we haven't asked this question in a week, Trevor. It's a big question. In fact, we probably need a segment on this show just to it should be therapy with Trevor's therapy. I want to ask you, okay? So again, are you still more of a fan than a journalist? Like, because again, you're the full-time journalist. Boom, bam, money's the root of all evil. I just want to check in. Are you more of a fan or a journalist?
I feel like I'm more of a fan, and you want to know why? So I'm watching the game alone with my kids tonight. You know, wifey's out at an appointment. One love to my wifey, and the Canucks are down 2-0. You know, I'm getting the dinner ready. I'm pissed off about this team. You know, down again, getting outshot, getting outplayed. And Kane feeds that pass to Hedl, and I'm like, yes! And my daughter, she freaks out and she covers her ears because she always does it when I score. She's like, "Daddy, you're too loud." Because for most Canuck goals, you know, I'm pumping my fist. I'm letting out a woohoo, and I scared the shit out of my daughter every time, and I kind of feel bad about it. So maybe I'm the third best guy in the world.
You know me, I'm a fan first, okay? That's the type of program this is. But Trevor, you gotta do a better job at that, man. You gotta tone it down a little. Okay, come on, bro. Why? Nobody's gotta get hurt here. Okay, calm it. Man, oh man. Jason Chan. Well, welcome to the new name, Jason Chan. Okay, we were lucky Ottinger wasn't in net. The two-part question too, and he wants Lecter Mackey to be, given some opportunity with Garland and EP. Two questions here. I'm gonna let the last one simmer till the end. I don't know, man. I think with Ottinger in net, the Canucks still win this game.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Because they got Thatcher Demko, and I think Thatcher Demko's a better goalie. He should probably be at the Olympics over Jake Ottinger. Yeah, I mean, look, Casey DeSmith has been a little leaky against the Canucks in the past couple of games. Again, the Canucks probably could have had 8 goals tonight, right? What was that? 3 pucks that were sliding on the goal line. I got to credit DeSmith for at least the one from Connor Garland. He kind of spun around to make sure it didn't get banked off and then him and in. But look, the Canucks played a great 40 minutes tonight. And I think one of my favorite things about this game, Kyle, is they didn't let their foot off the gas in the third period when they had a 2-goal lead. And that's something you often see teams do, right? Like, we're up 2 goals. Let's play it safe. Let's not take risks. Kyle, the Canucks, I don't want to say dominated, but they definitely outplayed Dallas for the first 15 minutes of that period, right? They killed a lot of time. Dallas didn't have many shots. Canucks had most of the zone time. It was a really impressive performance in the third period from the Vancouver Canucks. Really nice thing to see.
Impressive, man. Impressive. Everyone stepped up, including DPD and Mancini to some extent. Again, we talked about the AHL line having limited time. I'm pretty sure those two had limited time too. It almost bit us in the ass too, for real, because Tyler Myers was playing a bit too much. But maybe we'll get into all of that on this segment called five. What are you calling this, Trevor? Now
I'm calling it 5-ish minutes for report cards.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, 5-ish minutes for report cards. I'll go first. I'm going to rip through a few. You stop me if you want to. Thatcher Demko, I'm giving an A tonight, right? It was pretty much a flawless performance from Thatcher Demko. Even if he lets in the 3 goals, really, he's the reason the Canucks won the game. He's able to keep them in it early when they were getting outplayed. Linus Karlsson, going to give this guy a B, right? Just good solid performance. Only 7 minutes ice time, but he made an impact. Evander Kane, his first A- of the season, man. Evander Kane, easily his best performance as a Canuck. Victor Mancini showing off the wheels tonight. I'm going to give him a B. Interesting about the defense, Bears. We'll get into that later.
I'm going to stop you there. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I was emotional. I think I blacked out after Dallas scored the second goal. No, I definitely blacked out after Pettersson scored in his own net. Straight up. if anyone's in my WhatsApp group chats involved in the Canucks, and if you're in the Discord, I gave up. I gave up after the first period. I was done. I wrapped it up. I said, yo, this is it. Baby, what are you doing tonight? I don't want to watch the game anymore. Straight up. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how much minutes Mancini played, but I feel like when he did play, he was 90% of the time really good executing and ultimately not making mistakes. And in a game like that was moving really quick, I'm going to give him kudos. And normally this is not the case because I like players like tapping into their instincts or whatnot, but I'm going to give kudos to Mancini for playing a simple game today. For real, against a really good team.
He played a simple game, and Kyle, you want to know who his most common lineman was tonight? Because it wasn't DPD.
That's Quinn Hughes.
It was Quinn Hughes, man. I mean, fascinating to see those guys together. He plays 5-13 with Quinn Hughes at even strength, about 3-ish minutes with Marcus Pettersson, and about one shift, 118 overall with DPD. So, yeah, that was a fascinating development, right? The Canucks decided to go away from Hughes and Hronik for the majority of this game. And, I mean, when you win, it's always the right call. But it was a risk against this Stars team to put those guys together, or against any NHL team, right? The NHL is a tough league to be in. And it's hard to have a rookie defense pairing out there, especially when they were kind of looking so-so over the first couple games. I guess Mancini only played one game prior to tonight. So, that'll be interesting to see if the Canucks keep that up. But for tonight, it worked. Jake DeBrusk, I'd give a B+. Filipino, A-, man. Max Hassan, I'm giving this guy the A, buddy. Holy, Max Hassan was buzzing all night long, showing the speed. I wonder if he's going to stay with this team if he keeps putting up performances like that. Be curious to see if he gets more penalty kill time as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's not an analytical darling, but I feel as if Max Hassan, even last year, gave you very little reason to send him down, based on how we were playing and based on his skating ability, and maybe it's like logistics in the business and the two-way contract and the waiver stuff, boom, bam. But I guess what I'm trying to say, like, he's been a good Vancouver Canuck a lot of times already in this short NHL career of his.
Yeah. I think he was running around a little bit last year. Like there were points where he was showing like a rookie in the NHL. But I think that run gave all those guys confidence. You wanted to see what it looked like this season, and so far, I'd say R.C. Baines, Max Hassan, and Linus Karlsson. I know it's first game for two of those guys, but all of them are off to pretty good starts for the beginning of the season here, Kyle. All right, Tyler Myers, I give a B+. Some chaotic nature to his game tonight, but he's steady out there a lot of the time too. I think he's maybe gets a little bit too much hate in this market. Aturatu, I'd probably give a C tonight. I thought he was maybe one of the weaker Canucks. Kiefer Sherwood, give him a B-. Quinn Hughes, give him an A- overall. Marcus Pettersson, Steady Eddie, Mr. Dan Ham Hughes.
We gotta stop. You're giving Quinn Hughes an A-. You got to give Quinn Hughes an A+ today because, again, he's the captain, and I did this because he would want me to do this on the show, okay? One, us Canucks fans who, again, this is not the media here. It's Locked On Canucks. Quinn Hughes would want Canucks fans to do this, and, again, it's because he leads by example, and the humility is what the world needs. It was apparent that the Canucks were going to be in this game, especially if it stayed at 2-0, based solely on the fact that Quinn Hughes was lethal today from the first second, like, the way he was skating today, you could tell he was on, like he was warmed up, and he kept it going the whole game. And again, we gave a lot of credit to Pettersson in the first 25 minutes. Then we, talked about the Hail Mary from Evander Kane that worked. Sometimes you need the Hail Mary to switch things around at the end of the half, and it worked right there. But man, oh man, Quinn Hughes from the jump, you talk about the trickle-down effect. Maybe he's the guy that allowed everyone to believe that this was possible to come back from 2-0 against the Dallas Stars. Man, oh man, Quinn Hughes, to me, A+, obvious.
All right, man. Yeah, it's I think there's been more dominating nights from Quinn Hughes, and he's just I mark him on such a curve here, right? But he was fantastic for the Canucks. Kyle, I'm going to throw it to you for Elias Pettersson here.
Oh, A+, like A+, and
oh, Kyle,
this guy's not paying for dinner tonight. This guy's not paying for dinner tonight. No, okay. Again, the first period that broke my heart. That was it was actually one of the lowest points in my life as a sports fan. Straight up, that 20-minute drive. Again, whoever's tapped in with Kyle, join the Discord, join the WhatsApp group chats one day. I was out. I was done. I blacked out. I was done. This guy scored against his own goalie, and I'm like, yo, I felt empathetic. I felt sad. I felt like a bully again. I was like, whoa, like this is way deeper than sport. This is way deeper than the NHL. This is just getting dark. This is getting bad, bro. And I didn't I didn't think he was going to play that good in the second and the third. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. That was hard to do, but he did that against the Dallas Stars at a crucial time in the season based on new coach, crazy market, and you've sucked so far. And it's been 21 months of that. And like, okay, you're going to turn it around after you score against Demko, against the Dallas Stars. There's no chance. But there he did just that. And I'm proud of him, man. That was some good work from Elias Pettersson. Some really good work.
Yeah, really encouraging performance overall. Hopefully PD can build on that, get some pucks in the back of the net. Kyle, let's rip through the rest here. Marcus Pettersson, I give a B+. DPD, I give a B-. Drew O'Connor, I'd probably give a C-. Philip Peronic, I'd give a B+ overall. RC Baines, let's give him an A-. I loved RC Baines this game tonight. Connor Garland gets the A+. Of course, he was, I'd say, our best skater tonight on the ice. And Brock Besser, I thought he looked pretty good on that line with Besser, with DeBrusk and Healy. And I would give Besser an A-. Kyle, that's report cards, man. Let's throw it to the people on the other side here on Locked On Canucks. Before we get back to the show, wrap it up. Listen to you, your comments, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Let's shout out our friends over at Gametime. Okay, hockey season is officially here, and maybe your balls are tingling or whatever's below the belt is tingling, and you're like, man, oh man, this is the time to buy some Canucks tickets. If that's the case, make sure you can check out Gametime. It's the place I always go if I want to buy tickets because I know Gametime's got the lowest price guarantee. They got the zone deals, and when you go in the app, you can get the view right from the seat. Okay, you can just look right in there and picture yourself watching Quinn Hughes go boom bam, score a goal, a little rizzle dizzle, razzle dazzle. Let's go, baby. So check it all out on Gametime. Again, lowest price guaranteed. The place you got to go for buying tickets. Go down the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go.
People, we back doing this again. That's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. One love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving us the space to give you this West Coast bias, and also one love to Mother Nature too. We gotta do that every episode. If we're gonna show love to the Don't Doze Art Lab, we gotta show love to Mother Nature, and we gotta show love to you and you and you and you. Let's read more comments. This one goes to Jason Chan. He says, I need to sign off, but thank you so much for having us. I do follow your channel, but didn't know you do live post-game commentary. Everyone stay safe, and Canucks rock on. Canucks rock on. You'll hit the applause for Jason Chan. Fan of the year so far, I'm not going to lie. Hit the applause, Trevor. Man,
my daughter's awake, so I got to throw it to you for a couple minutes, Kyle.
Do your thing. Go. This is what you get for waking her up. You know, come on, scaring her. You're the boogeyman, screaming into her ear when the Canucks score a goal in Game 4 of the regular season. Trevor, man, that's why you're the second best dad in the world, almost the second worst. More comments. Nancy saying Oilers lost. Man, I gotta buy a lottery ticket today. I gotta be grateful today, man. Speaking of being grateful, can we be grateful for Connor Garland? I know it's early, but I feel as if we saved a lot of money on that contract extension that doesn't kick in until next year, which again, I know I'm living in the future, but I'm smoking that victory, okay? I'm high on anything Vancouver Canucks right now, and especially Connor Garland, considering that for the majority of his career, he's been kind of doing what he's been doing early on here, but there's going to be a lot of a spotlight on him based on his, leadership role with the club. No Miller there. There's also going to be more of a spotlight on him because, apparently he's going to fix Elias Pettersson because he can. AKA, he can be a premier winger for a premier player. AKA, Connor Garland retrieves pucks. Connor Garland wins battles. Connor Garland makes skilled plays. Like, I think we're getting used to Connor Garland's ability to just make other defensemen look like idiots. Right? This guy's so good with stick handling. Almost Quinn Hughes-esque, to be honest. The stuff he's pulling off. The stuff that he's, so confident to even attempt. And I feel like there's a 75% hit rate with his deeks. And I'll take that. Do your deeks, bro. Connor Garland is unbelievable, but also believable because he's been doing this for a long time. And now he's going to get more minutes. A potentially true number one superstar center, Elias Pettersson, finding his confidence with a guy who's a puck hound and also, again, great with the puck on his stick, just a playmaker in himself and Connor Garland. Yo, do the math. This guy could put up a ton of points this season. This dude's a bit of an outlier in the NHL. And this is the most extreme thing to say on this whole tangent, right? Especially for a Canadian. But man, oh man, I would actually be upset if Team USA put Connor Garland on that team. Because then we'd have to go up against him. And this guy's an uber competitor. Like, this guy's what, 5'7", 5'8", 5'5"? I don't know. I don't got a calculator. But he just always dominates. And he's had to do so ever since he was super young, right? Because, again, 5'4", 4'7", 5'7", 5'8". I can't do the math. He's always the smallest guy. But it's clear that he has the biggest heart. And it's very, 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 very clear that he has a high amount of talent, like a tall amount of talent. And I'm not going to say it's second to none, but sometimes when I watch him, it looks really elite. You know what we would be doing if Elias Pettersson scored the type of goal that Connor Garland scored today? Close your eyes and think about that. Again, I think we're getting used to Connor Garland just being different. What a player, man. Comments. NGK saying he's a super talented scorer in junior. A guy we know tried to change him in Arizona too, a.k.a. Rick Tocchet. But yeah, super talented in junior, just scored a bunch of points. Connor Garland, I believe, still has a chance in his NHL career to be a 75 to 80-point guy, especially if he's playing with some good players. And again, given the task to, I don't know, get Pettersson the puck more, just, instill some confidence in him, that's a huge task. But again, Connor Garland, small guy, big-time leader, though. And I'm excited, man. Like, again, another good reason why we have to look past the Miller trade, and I'm talking to myself. It's like other players have a chance to, like, step into leadership roles and do more and get more ice time, scientifically speaking. And Connor Garland's one of those guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a breakout candidate that we kind of talked about heading into this season as well. And Kyle, I agree. I think there's a world where Connor Garland can maybe hit 70 points. And, people talk about him not having a great shot, but he's so creative with the puck. I mean, you saw some of the goals he tried to score tonight. Like, the brain is moving for this guy, man. What he might lack for in pounds, he makes up for in brain cells, man. I mean, this guy, he's a smart effing hockey player. And so, yeah, I think maybe despite the fact that maybe he doesn't have a Jonathan Lecker-Maggie type shot, he can still hit 70 points in the NHL. And I'm telling you, man, Pettersson and Garland, like, that's probably my main takeaway from tonight. This duo could really be something for the Vancouver Canucks. Let him cook, Footer.
Let him cook and put Lecker-Maggie there. And now we're talking. Now we're talking, like, say what you want about Drew O'Connor and his ability to get in on the forecheck and win battles, boom, bam. Like, yo, I get enough battles won from Elias Pettersson and Connor Garland. I do. And let's not discredit Jonathan Lecker-Maggie for being soft. Go watch the film. He may not be the strongest guy, but he gets in there. And proof is in the pudding with Connor Garland. He's not the biggest guy, but he knows how to get in there. And it always starts with effort. And I'm telling you, Jonathan Lecker-Maggie does have, in my opinion, that effort motor on lock, for real. Anyways, I want to read one more comment, but it comes from yesterday, okay? We got to do this more. Comment of the yesterday. And Trevor, I want you to be my daddy, man. Okay, let's throw it back on comment of the yesterday. This is the part of the show where we read a comment from the episode yesterday. This guy, Insomniac, called me. He said he thinks I need a doctor, okay? He's like, dude, you will need a doctor for your broken ankles, for bandwagon jumping. Last week, you predicted over 100 points for EP40, And now you want to tear everything down and rebuild after 3 games. I know, Trevor, I said it. I said if Elias Pettersson doesn't bounce back this month, I'm done. I'm over, just like blow it up. I admitted I said that because unlike you, I don't got children to hug at night, Trevor. I don't got that love in my life. Okay, for real. No, hey, if my girlfriend's listening to this, don't take that personally. It's a podcast, okay? This is AI. Where am I going with this? Okay. Where am I going with this? Yeah, Trevor, I know I get a little emotional here, but I need to see more of it still. Don't get me wrong. Because consistency is everything in life. But we talked about it before. I've been bullying Pettersson, okay? Like, for the most part of his career, he's been like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hack to have on your hockey team, man.
Well, and that's what I've said all along, man. Everyone's saying like EP40's done, he's washed. Like all you believers, you're crazy. I mean, look for Daily Hive Offside. I did this video where I asked the Canuck fans outside of Rogers Arena, like, what are your predictions for Elias Pettersson? And we got responses from maybe like 15 people, and the couple people at the beginning of the video were not fans of Pettersson. Of course, a lot of fans bleeding that he's going to bounce back, but yeah, I saw some commenters being like, only the people at the beginning of the video were not delusional because a couple ladies just not believing in Elias Pettersson. And look, I get it. I get why people wouldn't believe in him, but he's got it in him to do this. He's done it for 400 games. Like, that was not a blip in the pan. Just to think that this guy's forgotten how to play hockey, to me, is wild. Like maybe he's lost some speed and maybe the shot's not quite the same. Maybe he's not a 100-point player, but he's still a damn good hockey player if he puts it together, man. And I think you saw flashes of that tonight.
Yeah, we did. And I know it was one game, but again, Trevor, you got me into all this hippy dippy stuff. I read it in the Deepak Chopra. You got to tap in with Mother Nature. The fact that our superstar did that against the Dallas Stars after scoring against his own net, man, that's a children's book right there, man. Straight up, man. No, my wish came true, man. My wish came true, and I didn't deserve it, Trevor. That's why I feel really grateful right now because, again, after the first period today, I quit. I quit. Again, I said, baby, let's go on a 10-month vacation. Let's do Locked On Girlfriend every day. That's what I want to do, okay? And it all changed very quick. So thanks to the whole team. That was a big-time win. We needed that. Winning fixes everything, not therapy. Well, therapy does, but it's expensive. I think winning is cheaper. And thank you, Vancouver.
Thank you, Vancouver. And especially thank you tuning in here on Locked On Canucks. Kyle, look at that. A nice 69 live viewers on YouTube, man. I'm too turned on to do the show any longer. Let's get out of here. Canucks win 5-3 over the Dallas Stars. Big come-from-behind victory. They're at it again tomorrow in Chicago, the Windy City. And we'll see you before the game, after the game, all the time here on Locked On Canucks. And Kyle, before we get out of here, got to do this after a win, baby. Let's go.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.